Hello, this is B's City Skylines Asset Review Episode 3. I'm B, and as always, you're very welcome. Well, I hope I've whetted your appetite for a few new assets, all available on the workshop. And going with the wet theme, we're going to stick to water. And this will be water and sewage. And what better place to do this than by the Diamond City Sewage Treatment Facility? Well, our first asset today is quite a large one. Apparently it's something like 30 meters high and it's 6 by 6 squares. It is the large water tower by Jens or Jan or something along those lines. Now, this is a free placement item, which means you don't have to put it by the road. Of course, you'll probably want it near a road so that you can access it via services and so forth. But it doesn't actually have to. You can put it at the top of a hill with no roads within a million miles of it. Obviously, you want to have no ground pollution, so putting it right by the sewage works is not the best of ideas. But it's as good a place as any for this demonstration. Do I like it? Well, I like most of it. I do like the brick texturing. I like the roof. I think the roof has got a very nice job of it done there. It's very European in style. I don't know if you're European or American base or any somewhere else in the world, but this is fairly typical of Europe, Central Europe especially. Although it's certainly in the UK, I've seen some water towers that bear not a complete dissimilarity. Oh, there goes my English again. Anyway. It's very nice. I like the texturing. I like the roof. I'm quite keen on the doors coming down the ground level. I don't mind the doors. The only thing I'm not keen on is this fascia ring here. Now, it's not far off accurate, but for me, oh, sorry, coming into ground level there. For me, it doesn't quite work. It's a magnificent building. Better from a distance, obviously, as with all buildings in Skylines. So, what am I going to give this on my star rating? I'm going to go for 3 stars. 3 stars. I think it's certainly better than a 2-star building. Something that you can actually use. It doesn't really have any flaws. I'm not entirely sure about this concrete foundations, but I'm sure you'll find a way of blending this into your cities. So yeah, 3 stars for the large water tower by Jens. The next building on today's asset review is the Umbrella Corporation Hydro Plant by Bermanigel. And this is 10 by 9 tiles. Now, if you're a big fan of the Resident Evil series, you may just have to have this because it's Umbrella Corporation. And it's a nice, glossy, very modern looking building. Lots of reflection going on. And like I say, certainly the Umbrella logo is definitely in full effect. Let's come up to above and have a quick look from above because it's definitely a slightly unusual shape. And back down and to ground level. Now, once again, this building is free placement, so you can drop it anywhere you like. Now, obviously, even more so than before, this one you really do want to have by the roadside, because how are your employees going to get to work and park if you cannot get to the car park? So anyway, that is the Umbrella Corporation Hydro Plant. Do I like it? Yes and no. Yes and no. I think it's certainly a very attractive looking building. Would I use it personally? No. I'm more a traditionalist when it comes to pumping stations. This is more like a head. Possibly I could use this as a head office rather than a pumping station. But it's certainly attractive. There's a few glitches as far as I can tell with the texturing. I'm not very happy. This looks like a this very top umbrella oval looks a bit like a 1970s attempt at high resolution. It's just doesn't really, for me, it doesn't work. I'm going to give this a 3 though, because I know there's going to be plenty of you out there that will like it. I don't want to put you off trying it by giving it a low rating. So there we are, the Umbrella Corporation Hydro Plant. Next up we have the Small Water Pumping Station by Avanya. This is 3 tiles by 2 and is once again free placement. Now before we have a closer look at this, let me just quickly cover free placement for you. First of all, you can put it anywhere you like. So here we are, I'm going to put it in the middle of this field. Now the only thing with free placement is how do you rotate it? That's very simple. You click and hold down the right mouse key, and then while holding down the mouse key you can rotate the asset by moving the mouse around your mouse pad. It's not very instinctive, but you'll soon get the hang of it. And once again, if you're not getting it exactly the way you want it, release the mouse key and just shuffle it around a bit further. Simple as that. But we're not placing it. Let's have a look at this one that I popped down earlier. And actually, this one is a lovely little building. Not too large, not too complicated. Nothing very special going on about it. Once again, it's a pumping station, so you don't want it on polluted ground. So right by my main sewage treatment works is not the best place to start pumping water. But once again, this is for review purposes only. And then back up and have a quick look from above. Now, I can't fault this. I'm actually a big fan of this. It's very simple. You can pop it down if you've got a cluster of houses with a gap between them and you don't wonder what you can do with that gap. Then you can use this. It actually produces less noise than a water tower, standard water tower. So why not? It does need electricity naturally, but you've normally got that covered one way or another anyway. So how many points am I going to give this? How many stars? Actually, I'm giving this a 4. I like this a lot and I'll certainly be using it in my cities. Next up we have Soldine's Irrigation Ditch. Now this is produced by Soldine, not really surprising that. And it's a 1 tile by 8. Once again, this is free placement. You can pop it any angle you like. It doesn't have to go by the road. I'm just putting it by the road here just to give you an idea of size. Now this little asset can be used in a multitude of ways, maybe on a farm or in the city between buildings or whatever, just to give a more of a natural feel. Now, while it's very nice, if at this kind of range, you can actually see it where the tiles are adjoining each other within the water. You can't see it in the ground itself, but in the water you can. But other than that, if it didn't have that, that would be fine. When you're getting really close, there's a sound effect of running water, and if you pull further away, actually as I'm pulling further away, these water inlets, they went pink. Oh dear, that's not so good, is it? I don't know if that's just my system or not. Now, I like it. I do like it. Let's come down to ground level. Only problem is, with that pink glitching at a set height, that could make this unusable. Let me come back up and try that again. It's gonna, yeah, I got it again. At this kind of height, the concretes at each end have gone bright pink. Wow, that's dropped it down, unfortunately, down my star ratings. Because the thing is, I can't see myself using that now. I was going to try and work it in to a few of my cities, but now I'm afraid I don't think I'm going to be able to use it. So anyway, Do I like it? Yes. Would I use it otherwise? Probably. With the concrete going pink at a set height, I can't use it now. It's not awful, but it's dropped from a 3-star down to a 2-star with that pink glitching effect. And today's final asset is the Aeration Basin by Kalati. Now this one is 6 tiles by 9 and is the only one of today's assets which is not free placement. Has to go by the roadside, needs electricity, and like with all the other assets, does need to be plumbed in. Now this will handle sewage for you, and it looks alright. My only grumble with this, and this isn't actually with the asset, I don't have a problem with the asset at all, it's the bushes. And it's one of those things that I've got an issue with the bushes anyway. They just look like cabbages. And well, I mean from this angle probably not, but yeah, let's have some cabbages alongside of our in our parks, etc. I like cabbage, I just don't want them the size of a bush. So anyway, this is actually very sweet indeed. Bring it up for a top-down view for you. There we are, top-down. And if I bring it down to ground level, you can see you can't actually see much because it is just a raised reservoir of sewage being treated. So from ground level you can't see much, which is very realistic. The bushes seem to be hovering, which is going to lose a star because you don't want hovering bushes. It's nothing worse than the flying cabbage. Okay, do I like it? Once again, yes. I've seemed to be picking a lot of assets that I like. Will I use this one? In this particular city, maybe not, because as you know, I've directly behind my camera point here got a large sewage treatment facility. I might pop it in just for aesthetics only, but I like this much, and this would be as close to a 5-star as you can get if it wasn't for the floating cabbages. So unfortunately, instead of having our first 5-star asset, this is just the 4 stars for the Aeration Basin by Kalati, available on the workshop right now. So that's it for this week. I hope you've enjoyed the asset review. I hope you've seen something that you're going to find and use in one of your own building, in one of your own cities. I've been BonBonB, and this has been my asset review. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and join me again next week for more assets.